Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars and some of my favourite people. And we've got one for you today. Jimmy Cricket is the star of the wonderful pantomime Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs at Leeds. It's happening at the old Tetley site. And it's an all-star cast with Scotty T, Coronation Street's Tupeli Dorgu as well. And even Ken Dodd appears. It's a fabulous pantomime which starts on the 8th of December through January the 1st. And I'm delighted to say that Jimmy joins us now. How are you?
I'm very, very well, thanks, Alex.
It must be great to be you because you're one of those legends that I love. You've got a wonderful act and it is timeless. That's hard to create, isn't it?
Well, it's lovely of you to say that. I suppose family-orientated, really. There always is the market, isn't there?
Well, we
Hopefully.
need that, you see. People will never get tired of that because the family will always need entertaining.
Yes, yeah, very much so. And the pantomime is just the genre where it just straddles every member of the family, from the toddlers to the grandmums and granddads, really. You've
just turned into your late 30s now. I mean, what's it?
What was it Jack Benny used to say? 39? Jack always froze at 39, really.
Is it tough being you? Because, I mean, panto is not easy with 2 shows a day, knocking out day after day after day.
Oh, it can be pretty relentless, but I suppose I'm reasonably fit. I keep fit, and the old royal jelly, the old vitamins.
Yes.
And I suppose I do love it. And you have to really, as well as enjoy the show, you live off stage. It's the life of a Cistercian monk. Do you know where I'm coming from, Alex? You got to get to that pit early and then be up. I mean, the younger ones are wonderful because they can burn the candle both ends. Go out in the razzle dazzle and be back up and do it. And of course, we could all do that at one time, but not for the Irish comedians in this instance. So, yeah, it's just looking after yourself for the 3.5 weeks on the rehearsal weeks as well.
They've been very clever in this pantomime in putting a mixed cast that will attract different types of people. I mean, we've got Scotty T, Geordie Shaw bringing in the young people. We've got the Corrie fans with Tupeli. We've got the Doddy fans and you who will bring in people who love variety. It's very wise, that, isn't it? Very clever.
Yes, and there's more. Because he's got the rainbow. He's got Zippy and George as well. Fabulous.
Are they behaving?
Well, they haven't turned up to rehearsals yet because they're a lot of stuff is in quick. I'm looking forward to meeting them, actually, because I've got a scene with them. But I know exactly what you mean. My second panto that I ever did, the first one was in the Charter Theatre in Preston. My very first panto. It was called Robinson Crusoe, wait for this, in outer space.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? So fun and galactalad, slapstick in the galaxies it was under. But then my second one, I was catapulted, Alex, to the Hippodrome Theatre in Birmingham. Blind. Cilla Black was topping.
Oh, was it?
Gareth Hunt was the baddie. Harry Worth was the King of Ambrosia. And did meet Harry,
Yeah.
And who was it? Like Paul Squires played the Simple Simon, and I was sort of silly Jimmy. But that worked because there was such a mixture as well.
What a bad year it's been. I mean, with losing Ronnie and the year before Cilla and Caroline this year, and of course the Wogans. It's not a great time for showbiz, is it?
You can't. But all you can say is what a show in heaven.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's very hard to believe that they have gone, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You just got to pinch yourself because, you think, you turn on the radio in the morning, Terry's going to be there, and, Victoria is going to have one of her great either sitcoms or a new play out. She was so prolific. But Caroline, the two ladies who were making groundbreaking humour, Caroline Ahern and Victoria Wood, have passed on. That's such a sad thing for, comedy.
I guess you've really had the best days of show business. I was with Bernie Clifton the other week, and I was saying the same to him. You really got to work with the proper legends. There aren't really legends being created today, are there?
No. I mean, when I first saw Billy Dainty, when I was about 11, 12, 13-year-old growing up in Belfast, and he'd come on the London Palladium, that walk just bowled me over. Right? I just loved that accent. And I got to work with somebody who I loved so much, like Billy. I actually did 2 pantomimes with him. He took ill on the second one, but there I was, working with him, and Harry and people like that. Jimmy Jewell, not Jimmy, Ben Warris, from the famous Jewel and Morris. Ben was actually in the second panto I did with Scylla and Billy Dainty, and that was in Oxford. So yeah, I was so blessed, Alex.
And there's showbiz royalty. When you mention Scylla, does that add a different frisson to rehearsals and the performance itself? Because it's a bit like Barbara Windsor. Those people are few and far between, aren't they?
Yeah, they are absolute icons. But, Scylla had to down the common touch with the prose as well, because what her and Bobby used to do, Mrs. Cricket and I were quite new to the telly. We just got a sort of a break, early 80s.
Yeah.
And she used to take us out for a meal and, tell us about the minefield of show business and, what to do. And, and they were such a successful couple, her and Bobby.
Inspiring.
He was and seeing the series last year with Sheridan Smith, it all sort of came back, of Bobby and Scylla.
I think Scylla used to remind everybody it is show business. You've got to have the show, but you've also got to have a brain in your head that can get you through the tough times and the minefield of contracts.
Absolutely correct. And Bobby did that. They did it so well. How they did because that's it. Business. You never said a truer word. It's if, as Woody Allen would say, if there was no business, it would be called show.
Yes. Very good. And we look at your career. What I love about you is you've always embraced what you've done, and I so admire that. That's old school in a way. People who create an act and stay with it and are proud of it. I love you for that because it's such a great act. You do jokes, which I love. Nobody seems to do punchlines anymore, do they?
No, more's the pity. But the other thing too is I would always like to be like, even the letter from my mammy comes right back to vaudeville.
Yeah.
But if you can keep what's happening now, because like I will say now, dear son, it was my birthday on Tuesday and the whole family bought me a flat screen television set. I don't like it, son. My ornaments keep slipping off the top. Right? So you're getting modern technology sort of shoehorned in to a vaudeville act, really.
Keep it, and you never stop working. That's what I love about you. I've seen you so many times. It never stays the same, does it?
Yeah, well, again, because of the things I learned with the Billy Dainty, the funny walks, I do the lollipop man, different lollipop men crossing the street. In fact, I noticed something this morning when I went on the computer that lollipop persons, both men and women, are dwindling each year. But I have this thing where an Elvis look-alike lollipop, a nervous one, and of course the great way to get the eccentric dance in is a Buckingham Palace Guard one, because you get the old drums going, And of course I learned to juggle when I was small, Alex, and although I forgot that when I got into my teens and 20s, I brought it back to give it a new feel, to do impressions of different people juggling. So little things like that helped me. And then I brought the kids to learn a musical instrument, the clarinet and flute. And I said to the teacher, could you learn me a bit of saxophone? Well, that was, 10 or 11 years ago. And I just persevered, and now I can finish the act with a bit of a number,
I love it.
So, I really believe in that, having all-round entertainment as an ethos,
And I love the fact that you guys, whenever you find young people, they're so amazed by what you do because nobody does it now. The fact that you can do 50 things within your act is fantastic because we've sort of become very pigeonized, haven't we now, where people do one thing and that's it.
Yes, I mean, you take my daughter, our Katie, now she does the comedy clubs, but Katie's got a nice voice, but if she was to start to sing, it would be perceived as corny and cheesy. So she's got to get out there and do it. But I miss not letting people develop more like that.
It's a shame. But the one good thing about pantomime is it celebrates all of those skills in one thing, doesn't it? It's brilliant.
Absolutely, song, dance, modern songs, old song and dance thing, good over evil. It's got every single ingredient. I think that's what makes it encompasses every single ingredient that makes it so, that word you use, it, timeless.
Yeah, pantomimes like this are putting a lot of time, effort, and more importantly, money into it because it's not cheap to do it well.
No, absolutely. If you want to get the good sets and you want to get the good people around you, you have to take it's a leap of faith, and we're all rooting for David. He's a sort of a local man in a way because he's Yorkshire, and you want him to come through.
Tell me about the venue. I was in Leeds at Radio Leeds for a while, but I've never been there. The White Rose Centre. Tell us about it. Is it a beautiful theatre?
Well, It's actually a marquee. Come closer,
Wow.
Alex. It's actually in the Tetley car park. They use circuses. I mean, when you say marquee, people think, are you doing a pantomime in a tent? And I'll say, well, have you been to see Circus Soleil lately?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, well, they're in a marquee, but it's centrally heated. The seats armchair, and it opens the playing field. If, for instance, a theatre like the Leeds Grand will put the Opera North in and things, won't they?
Yep.
And if Yorkshire Playhouse want to put maybe a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and I know the City Varieties then would put a sort of a rock and roll panto, then if you want to do a traditional pantomime, then you've got to go sort of another location, and that's exactly what David's done. He's sort of seen a need for it, and that's why we're all sort of up for it.
Oh, fantastic. Well, it sounds amazing. I can't wait to come and see it. Jimmy Cricket is one of the many stars who will be appearing in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's happening at the old Tetley brewery site, which is fantastic. A pure bit of heritage there in Leeds. And the stars, Scotty T, Corries Tupeli Dugu, Ken Dodd will be there on screen as well, and Jimmy Cricket starring in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And it's going to be a fabulous show. Are you ready for it? About to open?
Oh, I'm gagging for it. Very much so. I've got the Wellingtons polished. Mrs. Cricket's got me.
Left and right.
Yes, and I've been to the heel bar because we've got a lovely fella called Nigel in Rochdale, and he puts a shoe heel onto my boots, Wellington boots. So it means I can slide across and do my funny walks.
Bit of tap dance.
Yeah.
8th of December is opening night through January the 1st, 2017. Snow White with Jimmy Cricket. Great to talk to you.
And you, Alex. Look forward to seeing you in the future.